Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jake the Metalhead, and as promised, I have a new review out for you guys today. And I'm reviewing the latest album by British metalcore band Architects, and this is called Holy Hell. So, the story behind this album is this is a tribute to their late guitarist Tom Serrell, who wrote all the lyrics, wrote all the guitars, and pretty much like wrote all the songs, and like was a huge contributing member to Architects. So this is their tribute to them. So as always, we start off with the opening track, in which case Death Is Not Defeat. This song starts off with the chorus being sung over some soft electronic melodies played, and then it's played once more with the signature energy that these guys bring. The drumming and guitars on this track are incredibly well composed, as well as the more electronic melodies combined and all that combined with the brutality of the guitar tone and the drums. Yeah, this makes for a really strong opening track. So then we move on to Royal Beggars. This is a more of slow moving tempo, and it's a pretty heavy riff, but it's simple, but it's still really effective on their end. So so the verses are really mellow, and then the chorus just pretty much hits you with everything. And I'd say this is probably the most accessible song off of the album. Like if you're a fan of Architects and you're looking to show one of your friends like this band, I'd say start with them. I'd say start with this song, Royal Beggars. So yeah. So then we move on to Modern Misery, and this starts off with the section that like it kind of leads to a little bit of a build up to a breakdown part. And so it's a very simple but it's still heavy as hell and effective guitar riff. And it's a very catchy and slow moving song. And still even with the screamed verses, they still managed to put in a really catchy chorus as well. So that's awesome. So then we move on to the song called The Seventh Circle. And this song's not even 2 minutes long, and it's all screams, and it's very fast paced and aggressive. And this would obviously gravitate more towards people who like the more visceral and faster paced side of metal. And yeah, this definitely resonates with me. It's a really fun song. And then we move on to Doomsday, and this is the first single released back in 2017, and it was a standalone single, but this ended up being the lead single off of the album. And so this is a bit of a faster paced song. It's more of a it's more of a kind of a mid tempo type deal, but it's still it's still really cool. They noticeably have more progressive rock influences or progressive metal influences rather in the guitar riffs and the drumming as well. The chorus, the way their lead singer Sam Carter sings this chorus, or pretty much throughout the entire album, really impressive. I really dig his vocal style. Really unique, really, and he really stands out from like a bunch of the other, or actually most of the other metalcore singers and scream vocalists that are out there. So that's pretty cool. And then we move on to the final song off of the album, A Wasted Hymn. So it starts off with some electronic melodies and violin parts, which they play throughout the intro and the chorus. The vocals in the first verse are really toned down compared to the rest of the album. And on this track overall, the way the vocals are performed by Sam Carter um, makes the tone of this song stick out and makes this song stick out from a plethora of unique songs that come off of this album. So the chorus picks up the energy in the ver in the instrumentals and the vocal section, despite still being a more of a slow burn and being a slower moving track. I'd say a more of a slower moving track is probably the best way to to close out this album, and Architects nailed freaking nailed it, pretty much. So my thoughts overall, I really dig these guys' style. I like how they combine the more progressive rock and progressive metal influences, combine that into the world of metalcore, and I think that's pretty cool. I think that makes them stand out in a crowd in a, that makes them stand out in the metalcore world. And I think these guys are really cool. And so that being said, I'm giving this thing a 9 out of 10. And so excuse me, real quick before I go, I'm planning a catch up episode for all the albums that I didn't get to do before I took my break. So that means not only am I covering the new Seven Dust album and the new A Perfect Circle album, I also have the unfortunate, I guess, pleasure of covering the new Shinedown album, the new Godsmack album, and the new Five Finger Death Punch album. Hooray for the loss of my sanity. But I do need some time to work on that. In the meantime, I'm gonna be having reviews out for the new I Prevail and the new Whitechapel album, and I'm also gonna be having reviews out for um, some more underground or lesser known rock acts that follow me on Instagram, and I checked out their music, and they were pretty good. So I'm having reviews out for the bands Farewell to Fear, Hope for the Hollow, Deadly Apples, Android Sheep, and We're No Gentlemen coming up as well. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Rock on.